Greetings and salutations everybody, welcome back to another video. For those new here, I like to make these little videos about things I enjoy and want to share, usually about film and usually about either horror or 80s, but not always. Also while you're here, please stick around to the end, and if you like this video, please feel free to subscribe, maybe give it a thumbs up, hit that little bell icon to get notifications for when I put up new content, which is usually once or twice a week, though occasionally I work in a third. While you're here, also, check out my back catalog and share both this video and this channel around, as it really does help out quite a bit. Okay, now that all that's out of the way, if you've been coming across, any of my videos on this that I previously made, that I had visited 20 Hammer films earlier this year, and now I've been working my way through the different Dracula titles that they produced specifically. So for this video, I'm having some quick words about two of their films. First one is Scars of Dracula from 1970, and the second one is Dracula AD 1972 from 1972. So first off, when it comes to Scars of Dracula from 1970, it feels like these productions are getting a bit tired. Dracula's brought back by a bat that bled on his remains, nice big rubber flapping bat. We're finally getting to that point where we're seeing some of that cheesiness that was sometimes made fun of in other movies. With this, we also get, another story of a traveler coming across the castle, getting caught up in Dracula's affairs, and Dracula needing to be defeated. So there really isn't too much to say about this, honestly. The gore has been upped a little bit. We even have a little bit of brief nudity in this one. But yeah, and Christopher Lee seems kind of rare, and I don't know, his performance comes across as borderline disinterested in a way. I feel like at this point, the Dracula property has been being treated kind of like a TV show where each one's almost like its own episode. But this feels like a TV show that's in its 5th season, trying to find a way to justify still making episode after episode. Nothing new or changing things up, which brings me to Dracula AD 1972 from 1972, of course. This one they really took a swing at, though. They got out of the 1800s and brought this to 1972. So it opens up with seeing a defeat of Dracula by the hands of Van Helsing, played again by Peter Cushing, which is great to see him back. But some of Dracula's remains are recovered and kind of hidden away, and now 100 years later, Van Helsing's great-granddaughter is hanging out with this group of misfits, this mix of kind of like beatniks meet hippies in a way, would be probably the best way I could describe them. And as in Taste the Blood of Dracula, they're looking for something new and fun to do. So they get roped into doing this black mass where Dracula's brought back to life in a very similar way that he was in the previous film that they brought him back, similar way with their black mass. But so now Van Helsing's grandson, who's played by Peter Cushing as well, now he needs to kind of assist in defeating Dracula, as the police are investigating the situation that went down. By far, this is the strangest of all of the films, and the strangest thing about it is that it's quite jarring how we went from such a sudden switch from the 1800s over to the 70s. The entire look and feel of the film is very, very different, and the soundtrack is very kind of like a stereotypical 70s film in a way. Many of the scenes, it was interesting to hear, but it's also very distracting having that kind of sound. Though we do get a bit of a lull in this one, maybe there's like 10 or 15 minutes where things kind of stumble and lose their footing a bit. It all kind of works out in the end and was an interesting entry in the series. As I feel the producers kind of recognized that they needed to do some big update for their latest installment to get people to come out to see it again. I believe it had been 2 years since their previous film. And so they needed to bring it up to what was, at the time, current times. Some of it works, and some of that borderline 70s porno-sounding soundtrack doesn't. But between Scars of Dracula and Dracula AD 1972, Dracula AD 1972 is the one most worth checking out from these two. And, speaking of checking out, thanks for checking out this little video about those and sticking around to the end. I have 2 more movies to visit in the series, which are the Satanic Rites of Dracula from 1973 and The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires from 1974. So be sure to subscribe and hit that little bell icon there to get notifications for when I put up that new content, and I will see you in the next one.